This is the Finishers and Signature Podcast. I'm your host, DS Walk. I told you, I'm always gonna have fun with it, Jamie. You should know this by now.
It's that or you're dyslexic and you just never told me.
I just gotta have fun with this stuff. I can't be boring. I can't say, "Welcome to the Signatures and Finishers Podcast." I'm your host,
Nobody's
DS
asking you to
Walk.
be monotone. I'm just trying to get you to say the title correctly.
I got okay. All right, so I won't have fun with the title no more,
You can
ladies and
have fun with the
gentlemen.
title. I just need to know that you actually know what the name of the show is.
Of course, Signatures and Finishers Podcast.
There you go. There you go.
I know
We
the
got
name of
it.
the
We
show.
got it right.
I know the name of the show. I gave it the abbreviation SFP, not FSP.
It's true.
That's right.
You
You
did.
gotta have fun today. It's Wednesday, man. It's the day off. I slept good. Actually, I slept almost 8 hours today.
Look
I
at you
feel
go.
rejuvenated. I
That's
feel real
solid.
rejuvenated. My body feels good. Now my feet, on the other hand, that's something different. That's something different. I gotta soak them boys when we get done here.
Okay.
Anyhow, just for Jamie's sake, welcome to the Signatures and Finishers podcast. I'm your host, Jamie. Joining me today is my tag team partner. We are
I must be DS Walk then.
the only champion. Oh no, 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 no. No,
You
no,
said you
hello.
were Jamie. I'm very confused at what's going on now.
Joining me today as he interrupted, but that's my brothers, my partners, my homeboys, that's my good buddy. That is the other half of the tag team champion. Ladies and gentlemen, yes, I'm about to say it because there's two Jamies here. Jamie and Jamie.
Okay, now that we've settled that,
Yes, this is DS Walk, and that's Jamie, ladies and gentlemen. Because you see the names at the bottom. And we are
sweet.
here to
I'm just gonna
entertain you.
be DS Walk next week. You know.
Hey, you might bring some sunshine to DS Walk, so that might work.
All right, how are we starting this one off? Because there's so much stuff that is going so wrong in
Yeah.
wrestling right now.
Yeah, there's so much. I mean, like, you got one company's going through a youth movement, kind of going through a youth movement. And I emphasize kind of because they're still trying to cater to the old dogs, to the old heads. They're not
Mm-hmm.
completely going with the youth movement. Then you got another company who we are cheering for and hoping that they'll get their act together so they can be a legit second wrestling company, major wrestling company, a legit one, or you want to say maybe some competition to the other one?
I mean, in the structure of things, it would be more relevant to say that AEW's competition would be TNA. AEW is still not in the WWE realm. That's not their fault. I mean, everybody that's been a little kid is a wrestling fan. Nobody's old enough yet to say, "Oh man, when I was a kid, I always dreamed to go to AEW." Like WWE is still the place that everybody wants to go. So AEW is going to have to be around another 10, 15 years before people start getting to that. Oh, it's been my lifelong dream to go to AEW. So
I agree.
realistically, it's AEW and TNA. WWE's outside of that realm, and there's nothing wrong with that. If AEW keeps doing what they're doing, they'll get to their point at some time, but
Yeah, yeah,
it's not anytime soon.
I agree. So I named this title of this show "Good Show, Bad Show" because I've been paying attention to social media, paying attention to the wrestling community, and see what they're saying about Raw, this past Raw, and this past Wrestle Dream AEW. And a lot of people think that the Wrestle Dream pay per view was horrible or bad. Then you got some who are diehard fans who just loved it because they're diehard fans. And then with the WWE, you get the sentiment. I should have added SmackDown to this as well. Um, they're turning a corner. They're turning a corner because we're gonna start this off because they're going through a youth movement right now. And what I mean going through a youth movement is they're trending to putting titles or giving major young guys a push now because of the Seth Rollins injury. And because he's injured, you can see they're changing their landscape of how they doing business and the criticism they've been taking ever since WrestleMania, maybe a little before WrestleMania. But WWE is going to this youth movement now where we gonna see a lot of Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed gonna get big pushes. There's rumors that Austin Theory might be joining the division, but if he doesn't, he's supposed to come back. He's gonna get a big push. We see Ilya Dragunov is the new United States champion. Um, this past SmackDown and this past Raw, in my opinion, has been good because it's not it wasn't stagnant. They further along some storylines, and but more importantly, we start seeing more younger wrestlers, and I hope they continue to go that way. It's like what you said over a month ago before we even start doing this podcast. It's coming to fruition.
Jimmy Damas.
Jamie
No, I
Damas.
mean it's predictable. I mean, Seth Rollins is going to be perpetually injured every year. It just depends on the severity of what's going to happen to him. Every single year, there's something wrong with him that's going to keep him out 3 months or longer. So I think they know they've got to develop somebody quicker because the easy transition would have been going from Cody to Seth Rollins, but Seth Rollins gets injured too often. And as you see with WWE, they're very subjective of who gets to have titles for how long. Judgment Day hadn't wrestled since July defending the titles, and it was okay to keep him that long. Sol Ruka announces, "Oh, I have a leg injury, whether it's real or not," and now Zarya is somehow taking her place to defend the belt. Like things like that. There's no consistency in their shows, and that's part of what makes it bad.
Yeah, it does. I mean, I'm still trying to figure it out. Why would you have someone else, allegedly her tag team partner, defend her title for her? Whereas usually back in the day, if you can't defend your title, they'll just strip the title from you.
Well, and that goes to Seth Rollins' point. Like, that's just a tag team of two people. If Seth Rollins is hurt, then why wouldn't Braun Breaker wrestle as the champion in place of Seth Rollins or Bronson Reed? That's what I mean. Is there's no consistency in their stories. It looks like they're already doing the AI stuff and just letting the AI carry us away because it's bad.
It is. And even Raw was a good show last year. It wasn't bad. It wasn't great. It was a good show.
Except for the Battle Royal.
That was predictable. That was predictable. And the reason it was predictable because WWE will always go back to Old Faithful. You know, when it comes to whether they strip the champion of their title or send a number contender, they're always going to have some type of battle royal. They're not going to have a tournament. They're not going to take your top 5 main eventers and put that in one match to determine a number one contender. And personally, I probably would have done that one. Have your top 5, your top 5, your top 5 main wrestlers on Raw. And I put him in a number contenders match. It makes more sense. I'm not going to put, and no disrespect, I'm not going to put Jimmy Uso in that match, and I'm not going to put Otis. I'm not going to put none of those guys in the Raw locker room in the number contenders match. I'm just not. And then the simple fact that you didn't have Bronson Reed or Braun Breaker in this match for the Battle Royal, it just makes it that much worse for that main event. Because what's the whole point of if you're going to push Reed and Breaker to the main event scene, you would have them in that Battle Royal match. I would have Braun Breaker go over because it makes more sense. But to have them not in that match, it made that match, it made that Battle Royal uninteresting.
Bronson Reed should have been in it. Bronson Reed should have won.
Really? Elaborate.
Again, if they're relying on Braun Breaker to be the face of the company, the guy's about as smart as a box of plywood. Like, he can't even speak in coherent sentences. Like, it's worse than Scott Steiner ever was. And you can't have Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman ain't going to live to be 100.
No,
So
maybe.
you're not going to have him around forever. He can only shield so many people. You're lucky you got him as long as you did with Roman Reigns.
Yeah. When I looked at Breaker with the title when he came out of the car
It's
into
forced.
the
It doesn't even
building,
look good.
hmm?
It's forced. It doesn't even look good.
He looked good holding that title. It was kind of like that title was kind of meant for him.
No.
It did. I mean, look, if Bronson Reed, I would say the same thing if it was Bronson Reed. But like I said, I'm a little biased. If it was Obi, I would say the same thing. If it was Austin Theory, I would say the same thing. Because like I said, I'm a little biased. I want to see the youth movement take another leap.
All the more reason why Bronson Reed should have won, because Bronson Reed is just going to be cast aside. All of the attention they're giving Braun Breaker, and he does two moves: a Frankensteiner and a spear. That's it. Like I keep saying, he is a broke down, half-assed version of Brock Lesnar.
I don't want Braun Breaker come for you, bro. So
It is what it is. Like, I don't find him entertaining at all. I mean, the occasional spear when he spears somebody that's 160 pounds and he breaks them in half, cool. But other than that, there's no substance to his matches. He was better when he was with Baron Corbin.
Yeah, but there's a lot of WWE wrestlers don't have a lot of substance to their matches. At least
That's why they have the problem that they have.
yeah, at least with Braun Breaker, he's young, and you can still work with him. He can still be developing. You can still work with him. I don't think that, as you say, the two moves that he had, that's it. I mean, crying out loud, what did we say about Roman Reigns when they were shoving us down his throat?
You're not
One
giving us a good
move.
example. You're not off to a hot start on that one.
But I'm just saying though, but we all said about Roman Reigns, and Roman Reigns move set wise has not developed.
Well, I mean, all of their biggest stars, Hulk Hogan and the 5 moves of doom. That's a Vince McMahon thing. You do the couple moves that gets everybody, hyped up and good to go, and you move on. That's why Hogan, when he would go to Japan, was so desperate to actually wrestle matches to show people that he knew how to wrestle. John Cena, same thing. What did you see? Steve Austin, same thing. They do the stomp a mud hole, stunner, Lou Thez press. Like, you knock your couple moves out, that's it. Austin, he used to wrestle before he broke his neck. Cena's showing what he can do now that he's got free range to do that. But, we're at the very end of his career. But again, Bronson Reed should have won because Bronson Reed is going to be the one that gets lost in all of this. They're going to choose him or treat him as a lackey to Braun Breaker when Bronson Reed could be just as big, if not bigger, than Braun Breaker. So you should build that tension now to cast them both in a main event scene, because Braun Breaker is going to get the title at some point soon. Within the next year, most likely he'll have it. You need to have legitimate people lined up because they're going to treat him like he's some sort of monster and this and that and blah, blah, blah. You need to show somebody that's going to be credible to give him something to go with, or it's going to be the Cody Rhodes treatment where Cody had no feuds. It was just thrown together matches for his first title run, and it was one of the worst title runs in probably the last 25 years.
25 years?
One of the worst.
One of the worst. I give you credit for they got to start building some contenders because he'll have like a Cody Rhodes type run. That was suck. That was suck.
That's all the more reason why Bronson should have been in there. If he didn't win, he should have at least been in the runner-up.
Agree.
Instead of Dominic Mysterio, who's already getting his own push in his own right.
Either one of them should have been in it. And that's my whole thing about WWE being predictable, unpredictable. They want to, as some people say, they play it safe. As me, I say they go back to over-reliable. So this Battle Royal, we seen Jey Uso winning. And my whole thing with the whole that is I had nothing against Jey Uso winning. If that's the direction they want to go, Jey Uso winning, that's fine. As a fan, that's fine. I'm gonna watch it. I don't like it. I don't know why they want to further the Jey Uso story, because the Jey Uso story involves his brother and his cousin, and I think we seen how this all get played out time and time again. We all see that Jey Uso is becoming um, little Roman Reigns, and we all know it's gonna play out. The problem I have with Jey Uso and CM Punk winning is that it doesn't make sense. Now, if you want to throw me LA Knight, okay, because we know about the beef between LA Knight and CM Punk. Jey Uso just don't fit into this. And like, again, nothing is Jey Uso. You know, he got his shot. I know he's going, as you say, he's going to do his three moves doom, super kick, super kick, super kick. And
I at least give him credit for a frog splash and a spear, but
I
that's
can't give him,
basically it. Super kick.
yeah. And Jay gonna come out House of Fire. We all know Jay is gonna show up. The thing with me is that it's very it's an uninteresting match because we know who's gonna win. Just by announcing this in our minds, we know who's gonna win. I'm on the team of let's throw a curveball. Since you didn't put Bronson Reed in, since you didn't put Braun Breaker in, let these two guys come out there and just wreak havoc. Let them tear the house down. Let them destroy Punk and Jey Uso so we don't get a winner. So that they can take this to Survivor Series and have that match. Add Breaker or Reed against Punk or Jey Uso. And let's settle it right there once and for all.
Yeah, I mean, CM Punk, you're almost 50. You need to just take yourself out of the main event picture unless it is at the point of putting over young guys. I mean, Jay, you've had your time in the sun. Yeah, you still got a few more years, but you're not good in the ring. Why there? Yeah, he sells some merch, and yeah, he's probably got the best entrance of everybody in the WWE, but the substance stops there. Braun Breaker, LA Knight. LA Knight's been teetering for over a year now
And they
as the guy
still
that
won't
could
do
win
it.
it, and they still don't do anything with him. Jey Uso's already had a shot. CM Punk, he's at the level he doesn't need a title. They're still going to chant his name. They're still going to go crazy. If he never wins another title, I don't care if it's a European title that would come back. If he never wins another title, they're still going to go crazy every time he comes out. He
I
doesn't
heard
need it.
this. I heard someone say they would prefer CM Punk be moved to SmackDown and win the Elimination Chamber matches since it's in Chicago and challenge Cody Rhodes for the title.
I don't want to see CM Punk wrestling for a title, period. He doesn't need it. There's no benefit to him being your champ.
Do you believe that some people are just bigger than the title that they just don't need it?
100%. 100%. Prime example would have been Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan, after he had his first couple big runs where they were over a year, this and that, he was at an elevated point. If you never made him the champion again, he would have been perfectly fine. Wouldn't have changed him whatsoever. But Vince McMahon, old reliable. Things start looking a little shaky. He immediately jumped back to Hogan. Go back to Bret Hart, WrestleMania 9. Oh, I don't know if Bret Hart's ready yet. We're going to strike a deal with Hogan and have Hogan come in and do all this weird shit. And all of a sudden he's champ at the end of the night.
I
Like,
always wonder that because you hear how some people feel that no one's bigger than the title.
100% they are.
And then the one person who came to mind was the Undertaker.
Mm-hmm.
Because he never need
You
he
wrestled
even
for
the,
you wrestled for 30 years in the WWE and you won the world title what, 4 times? 4 times or 6 times?
I think it was 6.
One of them was only a week long, so I don't even count that one.
So that'd be 5.
So yeah, like that's somebody. His whole thing was WrestleMania, and then you screwed him on that. Him losing one match makes perfect sense. Losing to Brock Lesnar made no sense. It didn't help Brock Break or see, I'm mixing all the names up now.
See,
It didn't help Brock Lesnar. It didn't help The Undertaker. Losing to Roman Reigns the following year at least would have made sense because it's trying to show that, wow, Roman Reigns is actually legitimate and could be something on a big level. But by the time he won, all of the magic had worn off because it had already been done the year before. And how do you have the Undertaker lose 2 years in a row? Like, that was the one thing that was bigger than being the champion, was being undefeated or just having one loss at WrestleMania. And then you go and screw that up.
Hey, word on the street was that he the one who okayed to lose to
He
Brock
wasn't.
Lesnar.
If you watch his Six
But
Feet Under podcast, he's talked about it multiple times.
yeah,
The only time he ever said that, yeah, I want to do this, is when he wrestled Edge. He wanted Edge to beat him.
I say word on the street. I ain't believe it.
No. The Undertaker's still my second favorite wrestler, but there's a lot of stuff regarding his entire career. When you look back on it, you're like, that was pretty shady.
Oh, if we had 3 days of worth, 3 days worth, we can cover all that. I just kind of think they'll put the title on Punk because he said that he'll be champion by the end of this year.
Oh yeah, they're going to.
Too.
They're
And
100%,
then-
but he
yeah.
doesn't need it.
Right. And I also kind of think, like I said last show, I don't even think this is a WWE thing. I think this is more like a Netflix type thing. Because this is Netflix, because they want CM Punk to be champion. Plus the money they spent to get WWE on
There's
Netflix.
a reason why certain wrestlers are on Netflix and certain wrestlers are on USA.
Right.
WWE's worked with USA for so long. They know how far they can push that line.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, we're going to give them all the garbage. Not saying the wrestlers are garbage, but like, we're not going to put effort into the shows. We're not going to put effort into the storylines. We're just going to even keel, just keep it moving. We're going to put all of our focus on Netflix because Netflix has the big contract. Netflix is the one we have to impress. Netflix is the one working with the UFC on all this other stuff and blah, 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 blah. We've got to keep them happy. USA, we don't have to do that. Same thing when SmackDown was on Fox. Look at how much effort was SmackDown not the superior show?
Oh heck yeah!
Because they wanted the Fox money. That's how it goes.
100%.
That's how it goes. So until SmackDown gets moved to another network, which I don't think, what was it, 6-year deal, 5-year deal for USA? Like, it's not happening anytime soon. So I don't expect SmackDown to be decent anytime soon. And that's not the performer's fault. That's management's fault. Especially if we're getting, anime Bobby Lashley coming over from AEW. What, you don't remember the AI story?
Yeah, I do remember the
come
AI
on.
story.
All of a sudden, he's just going to walk out of AEW, come over with his Dragon Ball Z and all that kind of stuff on and start wrestling.
Wow. That's creative genius right there.
Yeah, there's not much good you could say about that. But Raw should be the only real show to have to watch for WWE for the long foreseeable future, unless something drastically happens with USA. There's really probably not going to be a whole lot of reason to watch.
Like what?
I'm surprised they haven't moved Cody over to Raw and come up with some storyline excuse of why he has to be on Raw.
Oh, don't you worry. You know that's going to happen.
Yeah.
You know that's going to happen. And whoever is this other champion will move to USA and they'll get all the leftover scraps.
Huh?
But there is one story that's kind of interesting me. And and that's the Stephanie Vaquer and the Roxanne Perez match. And the reason why that interests me is because I know Stephanie's going to a feud with Roxanne.
Uh-huh.
Jamie, I don't think she's going to have the title that long.
I think they'll trade it back and forth for a while because they have to make both the women look good. The only way to do that is to trade the title back and forth for a couple PLEs. Just like, the old John Cena, Randy Orton, John Cena, Edge, Orton. They all just traded titles back and forth for 4 years?
Yes.
That's probably not to that extent with her, but with Roxanne Perez and Stephanie Vaquer. But you're probably going to get out of 4 or 5 PLEs, probably 3 title changes.
Yeah. So I think they're going to build some hell of a matches. They're going to put some good matches.
Yeah, they're great.
I don't think Roxanne Perez is the one who's going to beat Stephanie. I think it's going to be Raquel Rodriguez. And I say that because I read the reports, heard the rumors through the grapevine is that they are considering thinking about putting the title on Raquel because they love the work that she's been doing with Roxanne, and since Liv been out, they love the work and how she, quote unquote, who got called out by Kevin Nash and took her wrestling to another level.
Getting called out by Kevin Nash means nothing. Oh, you're a big, you should wrestle like a big. How big do you think she is? Is she bigger than the other women? Yes. Is she Nicole Bass from ECW? No. Is she Awesome Kong? No. Is she Nia Jax? No. Yeah, she's taller. Is she the same size as Rhea Ripley? Yeah, basically. And you've seen
Put
Rhea
more
Ripley
meat.
struggle to lift people up. So she's not exactly Kevin Nash, Undertaker, Kane, or somebody like that. Like, yeah, you're bigger than some of the girls, but you don't need to be trying to do big boots and, the old snake eyes move of pick them up and drop them on the turnbuckle and all. No,
But do you think he got some valid points there where since she wrestling big, she got better compared to trying to wrestle small to I don't know. I
I
mean,
don't think she was wrestling small. I think she's just doing what she does. And I wouldn't even say her style has really changed a whole lot. She's just in there wrestling smaller women overall, so she looks bigger.
right.
That's a lot of what it is. I don't necessarily see her doing different moves. The Tahana bomb is a one-armed power bomb to begin with. What more do you want from somebody?
Maybe he wanted to do the jackknife power bomb.
The worst power bomb in the history of pro wrestling. Like, it's not even a power bomb. It's like, I'm going to gently set you down. My thoughts
Precisely.
on Kevin Nash Kevin Nash is one of the most overrated wrestlers of all time. Perpetually injured. How he ever got into the stardom that he did, thank you, Shawn Michaels, you screwed up something else. Like, Kevin Nash is so overrated. And he screwed a lot of people's careers up too. That's another thing you can talk about. So yeah,
Yeah,
as far as his opinions of you should wrestle like a big, the only valid opinion he's had is on LA Knight when he said he was a bad white copy of The Rock. That's pretty valid.
damn. I don't know who that insulted, LA Knight or The Rock.
Little column A, little column B. Yeah. I mean, it's more of an insult to LA Knight, but
shit,
uh, the only woman in WWE that should be wrestling like a big is Nia Jax. Obviously, for obvious reasons, she is bigger than everybody else. Rhea Ripley, and I would even say to an extent, yeah. There we go. She's sneaking by. And Rhea Ripley, obviously. And Rhea Ripley even struggles with it sometimes. Like, some of her lifts, I don't know. She struggles.
I think other than Nia Jax, when I look at the taller women in WWE, the Jays and the Rheas and the Raquels, they do struggle lifting up other women to a certain degree. Especially when it comes to what they try and do their specialty signature move. They struggle.
Yeah, the Riptide. You watch Rhea Ripley do it, she struggles unless it's like Io Sky or like Kairi Sane. It looks like it's a struggle.
Yeah, it does. But I really think they're gonna try to put the belt on Raquel. Not right now, because I think this feud with Roxanne and Stephanie needs to develop more. And like I said, I think we're gonna get a lot of good matches out of them two ladies. But
I'm perfectly fine with Raquel getting the belt. I think she's great. She had the health issues that she had to take all that time off to get clean from, or not clean like she had some sort of, but to heal up from. Wrong phrase. But she had to heal up from, get cleared of all that stuff. I wouldn't mind her going over to SmackDown once Judgment Day blows up. I think she'd be a better fit over there. Because again, you put her.
Me too.
Anytime you put her against Rhea Ripley, she's just going to get lost in the sauce.
Well, no, and they'll get lost. I kind of feel like when you put her against Rhea, they don't give her an opportunity Hey, can I win one of these matches
That's
against
my
Rhea?
point. She gets lost in the sauce. And it's the same thing that's going to happen to Bronson Reed, most likely. Moving Raquel once the Judgment Day implodes, which should be happening any week
Anytime
now.
now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
any week now. I would assume probably they'll probably run it till Survivor Series when it fully implodes. Um, Move her over to SmackDown. Get her fresh matches with Tiffany Stratton. You've got a whole different group of women you can go after. Her versus Nia Jax. That would be a way to propel her to make her look like a monster. Is give her like a clean win over a Nia Jax.
that would
Jade,
be a
they're going to
struggle.
protect. That would be a struggle. Yes, because again, you're very limited on what you can do to Nia Jax because Bianca's the only one that can really probably safely lift Nia. And even then, it's only going to be certain lifts that you can do. Rhea Ripley's not going to riptide Nia Jax and make it look real. Anytime she's tried to do it, it looks terrible.
That's like you got 3 seconds to do what you got to do to lift her up and put her back down.
Well, yeah, it's the Andre the Giant thing. Like Andre looked massive because people just couldn't do certain moves to him because he was just too big. The whole Lex Luger thing. That was the most staged thing in the world. All those guys could have body slammed him. They were faking it, but that was the big deal is body slamming Yokozuna on the aircraft carrier back in the day. Because again, were you going to power bomb Yokozuna? No, nobody's going to power bomb Yokozuna. Same thing with Nia Jax. So Raquel, that would be a way. We went way completely off topic on this whole thing, but that would be a way to give her instant gratification, and the fact that you could take her as a serious contender is move her over to SmackDown and have her beat Nia Jax clean.
That would be that'd be interesting to see. I'll go as far as if she beats at some point when they break up. If they put Raquel against Charlotte Flair, I like to see Raquel win. If they put Raquel against Tiffany Stratton, I would like to see Raquel win that one. Put her in the ring with some of their top contenders, women on there on SmackDown. Let her go toe to toe and put her over. I mean, like you said, her beating Nia Jax clean will make her the true big on SmackDown. But
Yeah,
have her
and she could
beat,
do it as a heel.
yes,
Because what else do they need over there?
heels,
Women heels.
yes, because you only got two really, Nia and Jay. Well, Nia,
The anti-hero Jade Cargill. She bounces in between both sides week to week.
Hey, look, whenever Triple H make up his mind and make her a heel, she might
She
go
needs to
for
be.
a 1 star to a 2 star. I'm just saying.
I don't hate Jade Cargill. I make fun of her just because the fact that they
It's easy.
didn't put her in NXT. Like
Was
you
it she?
put Stephanie Vaquer and Julia in NXT that have infinitely more experience than Jade Cargill ever got. And you put
Yes.
Jade directly on the primetime show, and you saw immediately what a disaster it was. And they still didn't take the time to say, hey, you know what? We John Cena'd this before we've even John Cena'd it. We're going to send
Mm-hmm.
you down to NXT and make this right.
Yeah. Look, I'm a Jade Cargill fan, and personally, she's an easy target to the rest of the community because we know her style. We've seen it in AEW, we see it in WWE. She has gotten better in some areas, but she's an easy target. It's easy to pick on her. However, I'll go back to what we all talked about. Hey, send her NXT. If you're not going to send her NXT, let her work with a veteran performer in the ring who will get the best out of her. If you don't want to do that, have her work with Booker T. Have her
And
work with
it's got to be somebody that doesn't derail their career. You
yes.
completely derailed Bianca Belair, getting her straddled with Jade.
Look,
Send Natalia. Natalia's your perfect one.
yeah,
Like
that's
Natalia
what I
ain't
was
doing
about to
nothing.
say. That's what I was about to say. Send her Natalia, have her work with her in the ring, outside of the ring, work on different move skills. And we can't forget, Jay is a former basketball player, so we already know she's athletic, but she is tall. So if she work on movement styles that, at Kevin Nash would say, work as a big, and use her the athleticism that she has, Jade Cargill could be vastly improved. But
Well,
like
and
I said, she's an
that's
easy
the
target to the community.
so to be fair, I only used to watch AEW because of Jade Cargill for a long time. So I am a Jade Cargill fan. I just know how limited she is, especially when you put her against the WWE women. It's one thing to wrestle Thunder Rosa over an AEW in a squash match for 45 seconds. It's one thing to have a primetime 7-minute match with Tiffany Stratton at a PLE. Like
Yeah.
there's just a whole different level.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but being a wrestling as a big is usually the underlying meaning is do big power moves because you're not athletic. And that's one of the things, if you ever heard the Big Show talk about it, when Big Show joined WCW, he wanted to be that big guy that did it different. He wanted to do the drop kicks. He wanted to do drop toe holds. He wanted to do all the normal guy stuff as a big. Eric Bischoff is the one that wanted him to, no, we want you to be the giant. We want you to gain 500 pounds. We want you over 500 pounds, be this big monster guy. And that's what he did. And then you see flashes back in WWE where he would lose a ton of weight. There was a time in like when he was rocking the 6-pack shortly before, not shortly before, but a little before he went to AEW. Like he was working on getting like real trim again. But that's kind of the thing is wrestle is big. That's usually because you're limited in your movement. Jade hasn't shown that she's limited in her movement. If she can move around like that, if she could keep up, like it's one thing to say wrestle like a luchador. What does that basically tell you in your head? You're doing springboards, you're doing rope moves, you're doing high speed things. If you can do that, why wouldn't you want to do that? Now, certain characters, if your character is like that of the Undertaker, do you want the Undertaker doing Hurricane Ranas? No. But if you have the ability to do that, show that you can do that. You don't have to wrestle as a big. Now, it doesn't hurt somebody like Nia Jax. That's kind of her thing. She's the monster heel. She's going to wrestle as a big because she's just naturally a big. Do I expect her to do drop toe holds and this and that? No. But I don't think Jade has to wrestle like that. She can show it. Obviously, she's going to have the power moves because she is one of the stronger women in the company.
Oh, yes.
But there's no reason she can't do other moves that show her athleticism too. That would make her stand out.
Yes, definitely. And yes, we went off topic, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we do best. So I watched a little NXT. Well, actually, I ain't gonna say a little. I think I watched majority of NXT. And I was hoping they was going to announce the Leon Slater versus Evans part 2. And I was hoping they was going to do that. What do we get? We get Mystery Iguana and Lil Parker versus Evans and Leon Slater at Halloween Havoc, a tag team match.
That AI booking, man. The AI booking. Guy that has lizard puppet hand must have on TV at all times.
And chairman of the board, huh?
Hey, you can't hate on La Parka. Dominic Mysterio's outfit is based on him. La Parka was great back in WCW.
He was the man in WCW. But I'm just saying, like, you look. We just watched Stacks and Leon Slater. That was a heck of a match. That was a good match. I enjoyed the match. But you seriously gonna give me? I just seen what's her? I can't remember. I can't remember the young lady's name. She comes out with Stacks. You tell me we're gonna go from Stacks valet sitting on Javon Evans' lap to now we're gonna get Miss Iguana and Lil Parker versus Leon Slater and Javon Evans because they want to be in a tag team match instead of giving us Slater and Evans part 2. That would be the best match on Halloween Havoc.
It would be. And it's so NXT has a hard thing, and obviously I don't have inside information or anything, but it's one of those things of you don't want your guys to get out of the program too quick. Is basically probably the easiest way to say it. Because again, the main roster's only got so many spots. You've already got guys that don't belong there right now. Obafemi, Trick Williams, what's his face?
Jordan Grace don't belong there.
Jordan Grace. I'm just going with the guys, just to keep it
Oh, the
simple.
guys.
But the Italian dude,
Tony D'Angelo.
yeah, D'Angelo, Trick Williams, Obafemi. I mean, I was telling you about Obafemi, what, year and a half ago?
No,
Dude was a
3 years
monster.
ago.
Like, dude's a monster.
3 years ago, you was telling me about him.
Oh, it has been a while. Like, those guys are, especially Trick. I mean, how many times you need this guy to wrestle for the NXT title? Like, he's past time. Like, he needs to go. And I think that's part of the problem is, like, if you keep putting those guys together and they keep having these just blowout matches, people aren't going to want to watch them on NXT anymore. You're already having a problem with talent at the main roster spot. Where are you going to put those guys?
They need to stick to my idea.
And at the same time,
start releasing guys at the freaking main roster. Just not either not going to cut it, or you see, well, you know, they went as far as they was going to go here. Let's let them go to TNA. Let's let them go to GCW, AEW, wherever, and let them continue to build on their career. But they went as far as here in WWE.
And I think that's where they need to make a hard line in the sand, because everybody looks at NXT as what it was designed for, a developmental system. They need to pivot away from that. Because NXT is getting to the point where you've got too many quality people there that it's not going to be development anymore. I mean, look at, Booker T made the comment about, well, I'm surprised Wes Lee got let go. But at the same time, you got to remember it's developmental. You only got basically 2.5 years to prove yourself. Wes Lee more than proved himself. I just think that the opportunities weren't available to him to get called up to the main roster.
Now, did they try to do that a few years back, where they trying to make the NXT their own entity, make their own standalone, where they can
that go? Was when McMahon took over. And,
he scrapped all that. They should revisit that plan,
especially if they are opening up another performance center, like they're talking about out in Vegas or whatever. That's your new developmental. NXT needs to establish its own brand and just work it like that, because you're getting too many people that are getting to that point of they deserve main roster call-ups, but there's only so much room. And that's why I go back to my whole WCW thing. Bring it back. You're at the point you have wrestling on almost every single night. And if you really want to be the only wrestling company, why not have a show every night?
You got a show on Monday, show on Tuesday, show on Friday. Mm-hmm. Wednesday, Thursday is wide open.
Yeah. And I mean, until WCW starts showing consistent numbers or something, do their PLEs like you do NXT. It might just be one of their shows. This is our Halloween Havoc show, and boom, and then they show that they're standing on their own. Give them their own PLEs.
God, that'd be great. But I'm just disappointed. I'm like, dang, man, that would be the best match. Don't get me wrong. Like, we're going to get Ricky Saints versus Trick Williams. That's going to be a great match. We know Ricky Saints going to win.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to get Blake Monroe is going to be Zarya. We just know this already. And at some point, we might want to see a heel turn, either Sol Ruca or Zarya. One of them going to turn on each other.
Well, that's what's going to probably happen, is that Blake Monroe is going to win, which is going to cause the rift between Sol Ruca and Zarya. And then that'll be the excuse to not call them up to the main roster, which they were clearly hinting at with the whole Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss thing.
Yeah.
And then you implode that. Like, there's a lot going on with NXT. NXT is actually pretty good watching right now.
It is. And actually, NXT to me is better than, I don't know, Raw, SmackDown, Dynamite, and Collision. And all in one, NXT has been more entertaining.
Can we talk about the least entertaining thing in all of wrestling?
Wrestle Dream?
12 belts Monet. Does anybody care?
Nobody cares.
Exactly.
And this is the part. And this is the part. And man, I hate the fact that me and you already said this, and now it's coming true. But I'm gonna start from the beginning. You had Tony Storm ran through the women's division. You didn't want her to lose. So she ran through the division, beat everybody, and made the women in that division basically non credible. You signed Mercedes Monet. She did the exact same thing. Or if you wanted to say it like this, she beat the other half of the women in the women division and made them look uncredible. She beat the one wrestler that she should have beaten, or I should say the one wrestler she had lost to, was Chris Statlander. Statlander is 0-2 against Mercedes. Tony Storm, Mercedes, they ruined the women's division because Tony Khan did not want them to lose. The only one that's credible that beat either one of these women was Blake Monroe at that time. I
Beat
forgot her.
Tony.
She beat Tony.
Mariah May.
Mariah May beat Tony Storm because Mariah May was hot, and Mariah May, it made sense for that.
She still is, by the way. Said she still is, by the way.
Oh yeah, yes she is. Yes she is. But it made sense for that story that Mariah May had to win, and eventually Tony Storm came back, won her title back. And when Tony got her title back, they had nothing for her because she beaten everybody. Nobody was a credible opponent.
So to take what you said and appropriate it the way it should be, Tony Storm and Mercedes Moné did not ruin the women's division. Tony Khan ruined the women's division. Because again, if Mercedes has creative control or something, you signed a bad contract.
She does. She has control.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You signed a bad contract. Again, if you didn't learn from the horror stories of Hogan and National, them in WCW, you don't give a wrestler creative control.
Right. It's not even just the creative control part, Jamie. It's the simple fact that this woman has 12 belts and not going to defend all 12 belts.
Oh, yeah. And then Tony Khan comes out and, well, she's not making any money when she does these indie dates. Who cares?
Nobody cares.
Then what's the point of doing it? Just so she can say she beat Ultimo Dragon? Yeah, she's not promoting the belts. People have to keep a running list whenever they talk about it to tell people what belts she has because nobody knows because nobody cares. Like, again, it's not a cross promotion where she came over and beat Tiffany Stratton or somebody like that to win a belt, and now she's got a WWE belt. She's got, My Backyard Wrestling Pro women's title or something like that. That who cares?
She beat Mina for the interim Ring of Honor championship. The interim. Did I miss something? Who was the champion?
Yeah, that I don't understand. And the one thing with Tony Khan, he cannibalizes his own company continuously. And it's not like just one division, like, oh, he just cannibalizes the women's division constantly. He does it with all facets of AEW, where he puts somebody there and, okay, I'm just going to feed everybody to you. At what point are you going to have the big trilogy of matches or whatever with Mercedes Moné and Tony Storm? You keep putting them back on top. Even Tony without the belt right now is still a bigger commodity than Chris Statlander with the belt. Because right now, to what you asked me earlier, do certain people outgrow the title? Yes, Tony Storm right now has outgrown the women's title. She doesn't need it in AEW. But outside of AEW, yes, she would need a title. But inside of AEW's atmosphere, she doesn't need to be the champion right now. Because she's already shown that she is the big shot. And again, if we're promoting that Mercedes Moné has 12 belts, why does she not have the women's title?
I'm getting to that.
Of all the belts that you don't have, you don't have the main belt for the company you work for.
But see, this is the problem. So you put the belt on Chris Statlander. She beat Tony Storm. It was a good match. Before she even just celebrated, enjoyed it, you have Mercedes Moné come down, treat her like she won nothing, like she wasn't even champion, kicked her out. After Mercedes Moné's match, you see Chris Statlander come down, beat the crap out of Mercedes, and that was it. You're setting up Chris Statlander, Mercedes Moné. champion versus. I'm trying to figure. This is gonna be champion versus champion because the end result is gonna be Chris Stanley is gonna lose, in which she deserves her win back, but it's not in the cards. You finna
No,
let Chris Stanley go 0-3 against Mercedes Monet.
well, yeah, because they need to make a significant dent in the Ultimo Dragon. That's why she won 2 belts over a weekend. We can't have just one title over. We got to make sure there's a gap. So yeah, she's gonna win. At the point that she wins the women's title, she needs to then lose and start losing the belts, because at that point, what are you gonna do? You're gonna go to some more indies. What are you gonna get? 25 belts that nobody cares about? You don't have a TNA title. You don't have an NWA title. You don't have an MLW title. You don't have any of the notable other promotions. It's all these little rinky dink, like we wrestle in a bingo hall on Sunday after church. Like nobody really cares.
It's funny that she won the Ring of Honor Women's TV Championship. She beat Mina, who was the interim champion. She didn't beat the main champion. That's the whole point. She beat the interim champion, not the main champion. That's crazy to me. And then you set up the storyline where she's gonna be the world women's champion. Instead of giving Statlander her win back and a nice run, nah, you gotta lose Mercedes. It seems like AEW is going down this rabbit hole of you had this issue when Tony Storm was champion and Mercedes was TBS champion. Is you almost champion versus champion.
Mhm.
Champion versus champion. You've been down this rabbit hole already, and people were not happy with that. So now you're going to down this rabbit hole again. Are both titles going to be on the line, or one title going to be on the line? Let's say Mercedes beat Christian, which we both agree she will. Is she going to drop the TBS title?
No. And that's where when you start doing this whole belt collector thing, which by the way they just did with Kenny Omega like 3 years ago.
Until he got
Um,
hurt and he had to
yeah,
drop all the titles.
yeah. So it's not like it's even like a creative thing that they're doing. Like, oh, this hasn't been done since Ultimo Dragon. No, Kenny Omega was just doing it. And actually had titles that people cared about.
Yeah.
Um, he like I was saying, he cannibalizes his own people because now you've made all your other women wrestlers look inferior. The only ones by rights, Chris Statlander because she has the title, and then Tony Storm who's beaten her before. Everybody else is just there as like cannon fodder. Like there's no point in even having her wrestle. And that's why they've got her going out and doing all these indie shows, just rack up belts. She's not going to go defend these. So what? She loses. Let's say when she finally loses one of the AEW titles, because she's going to get the women's title. Let's say she loses the TBS title. Is she then going to start willingly going to all these promotions to lose matches to give the belts back? No. It's probably going to be here's a box, get our little, plastic wrap, and here's our UPS label, and here's your belt back. It's probably all it's going to be.
You know, it's the problem with wrestlers having creative control of their character is that they never want to lose.
Yeah, I mean, go back to WCW. The finger poke of doom, Kevin Nash and Hulk Hogan, two people that had essentially creative control.
Yeah.
You got Hogan, Jeff Jarrett. Even worse, I would say even worse than that. Hulk Hogan throws a hissy fit, doesn't want to lose to Jeff Jarrett. So then you had that debacle in 2000.
And wrestling with creative control always gonna want their character to look good. And the one thing about this whole thing is that neither Tony Storm or Mercedes Monet, well, not when I mean Tony Storm, I mean Tony Storm in the beginning, not Tony Storm now. They don't put over wrestlers. They don't make them look the women they're fighting make them look good. Tony Storm now is doing that. Mercedes, I mean, to me, win or loss is big, but if you're not going to put over your opponent, that's just even worse. If you're not going to make them look good in the ring, that's even worse.
Sometimes that can be up to the producers slash owner of how they
True.
want it to play out. Um, because again, nobody's willingly going to want to go out there and make themselves look like crap unless that's part of the story, that's part of your character or something. Like, yeah, I want to go out there and I want to get no offense in. I just want you to rail on me for a solid 5 minutes and then pin me. Nobody wants to go out there and do that. And if somebody's getting liberties taken with them in the ring where it's I'm just not letting you get anything off, punches are going to get thrown.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if it's the men or women. Somebody's going to start swinging on somebody at some point. You've seen it happen before. Nia Jackson, Charlotte Flair, just 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Like things will happen. So that tells me that that's a Tony Khan or the producers of the match calling it that way. Because I mean, Tony Storm had to pay her dues in WWE and places like that before she even got to AEW. So I don't think that's really so much a her thing of, oh, I'm just not letting anybody get their moves in. I think that's just the way the match is called.
Yeah, what I mean by that, I don't think that's her call. And Tony don't have creative control over her
No.
character. That's Tony Khan thing.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is that well, I should say Tony Khan is not allowing the women wrestlers that Tony wrestled in the beginning. He's not letting them get over. That's what I should say.
Yeah, well, and that's the problem is like you get to the point where you don't have any credible opponents left. And then people get disinterested because, oh, Chris Jericho's got the belt again. Oh, Mercedes Moné's got her 27th title now. Tony Storm's still acting crazy and just wrestling this one person. Like that's people know what to expect. They don't watch anymore.
Yeah, and that's the issue. I'm still waiting on when is Jamie Hayter gonna get her get back, but she's never gonna get it.
She's another one just lost in the sauce. I thought for sure she was going to win the title,
Oh, when
and
she
they
came
just
back, I felt for one when she came back at All In, number one, you didn't even know she came back on the pre-show.
yeah
I mean, like that's how you treat one of your main women, your former champion,
yeah.
one she had to forfeit her title because she was hurt.
These I don't want to say smaller promotions, but I mean TNA they had their own train wreck with the Hall of Fame. You had the
Yes,
Hall of Fame before the show. Like, how do you guys make these decisions so stupidly? Like, uh, I yeah,
I'm trying to figure it out. Where is Deanna Perrazzi, and why is she's not being used? Oh, I forgot she spoke out. She spoke out, so now she's being punished.
oh yeah, same. You know, Britt Baker. I saw today. Tony Khan says, "Oh, she's still very much a part of AEW." Then do something with her. She's one of the few women that's actually going to gain any traction over there if you let her do her thing.
I never thought I would say this. I miss Britt Baker. I miss
Britt
Britt
Baker's
Baker.
great.
No, regardless of the drama in the locker room that she caused, no matter what people think about her, when she was the top in the women's division, it was more watchable. It was entertaining. It was enjoyable. Now you got Mercedes, part of that women's locker room, who says she's all about the women revolution, empowering, elevating women wrestling. It
Mercedes
kind of
Monet
seems
is
like it's
all
she's
about
doing it's all
herself.
about her, all about her. When Britt was there, everybody was eating, everybody had equal opportunity.
So you have to look at when somebody speaks out, especially in like pro wrestling, you have to look at what got them to the point where they're speaking out. And yeah, did Britt Baker cause drama? Yeah. Did she get into it with MJF? Yeah. There's a lot of stuff. Was she necessarily right in all those things? Probably not. But there's obviously catalysts that got her to get to that point, and that's what you have to kind of hone in on of what caused all this. And you can see what Tony Khan does a mile away. Mercedes Monet has no interest in revolutionizing women's wrestling or anything like that. Like she's not doing anything to revolutionize women's wrestling. That was done by Mickey James and Trish Stratus and Lita, and then AJ Lee and early on Bailey, Becky Lynch, people like that. She's not doing anything now to revolutionize wrestling. Last I knew, she was unhappy with her booking and decided to walk out of a company. and took a couple years off and then started wrestling on the indies before she went to AEW, where she could be the big fish in a moderately sized pond. What has she done to put over anybody with collecting all these belts? How has that highlighted any of these companies? What does she have? The Canadian Pro Futures Wrestling League title? I haven't heard her talk about that. And yes, that company is completely made up. I just made it up on the fly. But
I'm just waiting for her to get the Barstool Championship.
Yeah, like she's collecting all these belts. It's not doing the promotion any favors. What, you got her on a show that had 50 people in the gymnasium watching? She's not talking about it on AEW. She flashes the belts up there, but she's not like, they're not zooming in on the belt like, oh, this is my belt that I got from so and so. There's no promotion there. It's just promotion for her to, oh, she's got another belt. It's not revolutionizing women's wrestling. You haven't gone over to Glow. You haven't gone over to Stardom and done anything.
But she was signed to Stardom before she went to AEW. Then,
right? But I'm saying correctly, like now with this whole
no.
Yeah,
no.
She's not doing anything with like the all women's promotion that might have some relevance. No.
Man, this is just
it's a very self-serving storyline, and the whole I'm part of the women's revolution. No, you're not.
Nah, no. It's this storyline is so bad. Really, really the current, bad. And
women's revolution right now would be closer to Lyra, Valkyria, Roxanne Perez, Sol Ruca, and people like that are coming up and actually doing moves that you don't see anybody else do before. That's part of revolutionizing something. With Mickie James and Trish Stratus and all them, it was showing women could actually wrestle more than bra and panty matches.
Yeah.
And then it was showing with AJ Lee, women could do top rope stuff and things like that and actually put on real wrestling matches. And then Becky Lynch and Bayley come in and Charlotte Flair and this and that, showing that you can actually wrestle. You can hit your timing marks and things like that. Now we're taking it to another level. I haven't even seen a guy do the Soul Snatcher yet.
Her Soul Snatcher is the better version of the RKO.
It's 1,000 times better than the RKO.
It's a beautiful move. And you're right, I haven't seen no one do that move at all. And the way she does it, it's just unbelievable.
It's effortless.
I mean, you just see this young lady just do a spin.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, the first time I seen that, I had to walk away from it, man. I'm like, did I just see what I just seen?
It's good.
I just want the women division AEW to get back to where it was and get, when it was one of the best in the business.
That was a couple of years ago. That was before Jade left.
And, I want to see these ladies get put over. I don't want to see one dominant lady who just don't want to put nobody over because it doesn't fit her character. It's the same thing with the Hurt Syndicate. They have creative control on their characters. Why? And then you come out here, and all due respect to MVP,
looking you get mad because hell, people call
out about you refuse to lose to FTR, but you'll lose to these guys. You don't want to put over Mike Speedball, but you lose to the Demand. But you lose to Brodito, but you don't want to lose to FTR. A credible tag team, one of the best tag teams in the world. But you'd rather lose to Brodito.
FTR doesn't get nearly enough love. Like, I'm not their biggest fans, but just like quality of wrestling, what they do, they are one of the best out right now.
Yeah, and that's saying a lot because it's not really a lot of good tag teams out here anymore.
Everybody's just a slap together, and like I've told you on this show before, that's one of my biggest pet peeves in wrestling is the Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss. Like, you're each going to have your own intro. You guys come out separately. One's going to wait halfway down the ramp for the other one. The Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair thing all over again. Like, they're not even like a unified tag team, and it drives me nuts.
Of course not. And it's the days of tag team wrestling actually meaning something is over.
Oh, it has been
it's over.
since WCW, basically.
It's over. I mean, it's a pipe dream that we actually care about tag team wrestling. I'm surprised none of these companies got rid of tag team wrestling. Oh, wait a minute, WWE tried that already.
Yeah, I mean they've been actively trying it. I think they forgot that they had tag team champions until last night or 2 nights ago, and they're like, "Oh, we should probably do something with these guys." Like
Yeah,
WWE is honestly at the point, just get rid of all of the titles besides the two heavyweight titles and the women's two heavyweight titles. Just scrap all the other ones because you're very subjective of when they're actually going to wrestle for them.
ain't that? It's like you said. I don't think they actually remember. Sometimes they got. Oh, we got tag team champions. Oh shoot, the speed title gets
Yeah,
more airtime than the other championship title. It's crazy. The speed title,
yeah.
the internet title.
I think I've only seen the picture of the speed title once. Is that like rainbow writing or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never actually watched a speed match because I have a Twitter account. I made one post ever, and it was me complaining to Xbox about Madden. So that was my one and only tweet that I've ever made, and I think that was like 6 years ago.
I have no interest of watching any speed title match because it don't mean nothing to me.
Yeah, I for doing a show like this, I should probably just be all encompassing all wrestling all the time. Anything WWE right now, I'm basically hate watching. It's basically just a hate watch right
No,
now
no, 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 no,
because
no, no. Wait a
it's
minute.
not good.
Wait a minute. It's not. It's not. But even before that, when the I want to say for a good 3 4 months, when you watch the WWE, even sometimes AEW, it's kind of like this. Oh
I
shoot, that
play
happened.
video games while I watch Raw and SmackDown just because it's more entertaining for me to play Battlefield right now and just catch a glimpse of what's going on than it is to actually sit there and watch it for 2 hours and do nothing else.
Hey, look, they be on that BS sometimes. Just like the John Moxley and the Darby Allen match, where I don't know if you've seen it, Jamie. They brought a fish tank in.
Yeah, I did. I saw the we're gonna try and drown him during the all I quit match. Yeah, and Sting just completely rocking the gray hair. I almost it was so white that I think he dyed it that way to look like that. Um, yeah, it's
Oh God.
there.
Oh.
That's part of the problem with AEW is they don't have an identity, and it's like they want to kind of be ECW because every match in ECW had the potential to be a hardcore match. That was just the nature of the beast and how they did things. And it's like they almost want to be ECW, but they want to be looked at as like the WWE. ECW did it organically and it was natural. But you also had, again, if you wanted to see the best wrestlers in the world, they were in ECW. You had the Lance Storms, the Jerry Lynn's, the Rob Van Dams. If you wanted to see the best hardcore wrestling, it was ECW. You had the Dudleys, you had RVD and Sabu, you had Taz, you had those guys. Like they could do a little bit of everything. The best luchadors before WCW signed them all. You had Eddie Guerrero, you had Rey Mysterio, you had Chris Jericho. ECW did everything well. They just didn't have the money to get the exposure. And it's like AEW's trying to replicate that. They do have a very good lucha presence, but like every pay per view, because they still do pay per views, they got to fix that too if they want to
Oh
get
God.
more noticeable. Like every match has to have some sort of gimmick hardcore stipulation to it. And I'm not like you and Dame talked about, every match doesn't need to have blood. I don't personally like it. To me, it's just background noise. Like I don't even really notice it, but I
Mm-hmm.
get it because it does take the stigma away. Like, why don't you have a first blood match? Something like that to where if somebody does bleed, okay, match is over. Not every match doesn't need to have all the crazy violence because then it loses the stigma. It's the New Jack effect. Every
Yeah.
time New Jack wrestled in ECW, he's coming out with a pizza cutter, he's got the bat, he's got the whole thing, and just tearing people up. And it loses the stigma and it loses the value when you do it every single time.
Yeah. It's I don't have I want everybody to understand I don't have no problem with blood. But when you overuse it, it's nothing special about it
Yeah, it
anymore.
loses the effectiveness.
There's nothing special about it, and especially with John Moxley, because I kind of believe. No, let me rephrase that. I do believe that John Moxley just changed the identity of AEW from, "Hey, we're gonna be this um alternative wrestling company," to, "Nah, we're gonna be like GCW and AEW and
Well, that's his
GCW
background.
and ECW all in one." He changed the outlook of everything of this company by just want to do hardcore all day, every day.
Well, I mean, he's a background deathmatch wrestler. Like
Yeah, he
that was his
is.
background before WWE. So you do what you know.
And the
And
W try to change him, and you see how that turned out.
he is the face of AEW. Like even
Yeah.
Tony Khan says he is the foundation of the entire company. And
Funny how that is.
I think that's only going to get worse with Jericho being bye bye.
Yeah, that's funny how that is, because once upon a time, the face of your company was MJF and Cody Rhodes. Now it's John Moxley.
And it needs to be MJF, Swerve Strickland, Hangman Page, Will Osprey, because that's their other problem. You've got guys that are going to be hanging it up soon. They need to be pushing those younger guys. Will Osprey is not as young as people probably assume he is because he says bro like a surfer guy.
Dude in his 30s.
Exactly. Like he's not on the young side. He's been around for a while. So you
Jay
need to
White
start
is coming
pushing.
back from injury. He
Yeah.
was the top. He was a few years ago. He was rated the number one wrestler in the world.
Yeah, but that was a few years ago though.
Now, ever since he got into AEW, it's kind of like,
Doesn't do anything.
I wonder, does he still regret of signing that contract with AEW instead of the WWE? Where he's in WWE, he might would be on top of the card.
Possibly. At the point that he joined AEW, I was sporadically watching it. It was basically I was Jay Cargill watching. And I remember the first episode he popped up on AEW and they were losing their mind. And I was like, if he goes to AEW, he's gonna fall off. And 100%, what happened?
Yeah,
Falls off.
yeah. So I remember that debut, and it was nothing special about it. He just
Mm-mm.
came out running out of the bag. They
Yeah,
it was nothing special. They didn't like kind of make him feel big or special. He didn't have it that moment. Oh, he's gonna come out running the back and do a save,
yeah.
but that's his debut.
But yet they make a big deal about hologram.
Of course, so big that it's two holograms.
Yeah. Uh AEW needs to focus on youth. I know they had that whole thing with the performance center. I didn't read the whole thing about it, but like FTR, Adam Copeland, and a few others, I think the Young Bucks were involved too, of like training. Like hopefully they do something because they have to get a system in place. They can't be relying on taking WWE's leftovers.
Yeah, so the thing was that Tony Khan said he's very interested in having their very own performance center, but you should have had that like 4 years ago. Actually, you
I mean,
should have
it's
had that when you opened the company, because I think back then they depend on Cody Rhodes and the Nightmare Family, because they had a gym,
mhm.
and I forgot the guy's name, but they were developing wrestlers, but they was only developing wrestlers in their faction.
Right.
Like Jade Cargo was part of that faction, but she wasn't part of the Nightmare Family. She was just really cool with Cody, and I forgot the guy's name, and she trained with them. Um, so my whole thing is like, if you're interested in having your own performance center, you should have had that when you started your company. That would have been perfect to have younger wrestlers then trained and ready now to be on the top of your card.
Yeah, I get why they don't because you don't know if the company's going to have legs to be successful. So that's just an extra expense that you don't necessarily want to have. But you've been around for 6 years at this point. Like, if you're going to take it to the next level, you have to get a performance center going.
Right. And
And
plus, you're based in Jacksonville.
yeah,
You, and you can find anywhere in Jacksonville to build a performance center. I mean, if you can remodel and redo your stadium for about $2.5 billion, I'm quite sure Performance Center.
Guess who else has a performance center that loses candidates on a regular basis in Florida?
Yeah, in Orlando.
Mm-hmm. Not that far away.
Yeah, few
Hey,
hours drive.
you didn't cut it over there. Let's give you a shot. You're gonna have a better chance over here. We're a smaller company. We're gonna give you a better chance. And you might pick on somebody. I mean, look at Drew McIntyre. Did Drew McIntyre need to get fired when he did for his own benefit? Yes.
Yes.
Because look what happened. There's no reason he shouldn't be world champ multiple times over already.
Yeah. He got
He
fired.
got better.
He got better. He came back, went back to NXT, kicked butt, got called up. Now look at him.
Mm-hmm. So just because it's not your time right now, you can still go somewhere, get better, and go back.
Yeah.
And ultimately, AEW shouldn't want people to leave. They want to get up to that point where they are competing with WWE. There was a time where AEW was putting on better shows than NXT. You caused them to move to a whole different night.
Yeah. So even though we went off topic, that match, first of all, the old Stinger is what y'all call him now because he looks very old in his 60s.
Yeah.
I get it. Darby Allin, Sting, they were a group. They watch each other's back. But Sting retired. Sting
Yeah.
retired so bad that he grew out a goatee. His hair is white. His goatee is white. Face paint still the same color. And you got a man that's almost over 60 with a baseball bat beating up on John Moxley and everybody else. Smashes the fish tank. And my thing is this the best they can do for Darby Allin? Is Sting? He's not got anybody
Well,
else in the back.
and the other problem too is every time Darby Allin wrestles in a big match, people are just going to be waiting to see Sting. Like the guy's 66 years old. Like he's done more than enough. Let him just enjoy retirement. And I know that Tony Khan did the whole thing, and Sting said that anytime they need him to help out with like anything Darby Allin related, all they have to do is ask him, and he's going to show up. Like Darby Allin's got to be able to stand on his own 2 feet. Like they want him to be something within the company. He's going to have to do it without Sting.
They want to put the title on Darby.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Is like you're going to have to do something without Sting.
Well, not
Like it's cool to
having.
have him show up for celebratory things, but if you're relying on having Sting be involved in every one of his big matches, it's never going to help Darby Allin whatsoever.
No, what's down here? Darby Allin, if you keep doing all these death-defying stunts, something gonna be knocking at the door. But like, yep,
I
time to come
mean,
home, Darby.
dude got hit by a bus, climbed Mount Everest, fell off. Didn't he fall off of some concert hall or something like that, and like broke his leg or something? And
Fell
after
down.
he got hit by the bus or something, like all in
Fell
the
down
same
some
weekend.
stairs. He was dragging a body bag of a back of a vehicle. He, I don't think Darby Allin gonna see 40.
I mean, being a pro skateboarder, you're used to getting some injuries, broken bones, things like that, but your body's not meant to take a beating like that. Like it's just not. And yeah, there's a good chance that he ain't gonna have a whole long life.
You remember Terry Funk body was beating up towards the end of his career, and then later in life it was kind of hard to move around, just like Mick Foley.
Uh-huh.
Darby Allin is everything like a buck 50 or maybe less. I could just imagine if he makes it to like 50 or 60 years old, what he's gonna look like, what his body gonna feel
And
like.
Terry Funk lived a lot longer than people probably thought he would too.
Yes, he did.
But yeah, Darby Allin's probably 30, 40 pounds lighter than Terry Funk ever was. And certainly 100 pounds lighter than Mick Foley.
Yeah. And Mick Foley can barely get around today.
Mm-hmm.
Barely. I can just imagine what Darby Allin gonna look like. But that match, I did not enjoy it because it was too much gimmick, not
Uh-huh.
enough wrestling. And listen, AEW has the best wrestler. If they would just ease up on the gimmicks, I think we can sit here and say, "Holy crap!" They blew the roof off their pay per views, and it's kind of odd because Tony Khan is Mr. Pay per view because every pay per view has been money until this year where it just not been on point.
I think a lot of it is the reason they're getting so many gimmicks is I don't think Tony Khan trusts that they can keep up with WWE without gimmicking everything, and that's what he needs to let go of and
Yeah, they don't
trust that
need to
these
keep up with the
guys.
WWE.
Yeah, just trust that these guys can put on a good show. You're gonna have to build it organically. Do what you've been doing. Just put more trust that because when you gimmick everything, people aren't going to care anymore. And if you are going to gimmick it, make it something that actually displays the wrestling that people ultimately are there to see. Show me an Iron Man match. Why aren't Will Ospreay and Ricochet doing an hour long Iron Man match? I mean, obviously one is hurt right now, but I'm just as an example of like two high quality potential best in the world wrestlers putting
Who can
on
go
a
over 30
classic.
minutes?
Yeah, putting on a classic. That would be a gimmick match that people would watch. You don't need a no DQ because all their gimmicks are just no DQ matches with different little stipulations and different names.
Yeah, and before I continue, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you like, subscribe, and share this podcast. We deeply appreciate it. Again, like, subscribe, and share, and comment. Um, so we had that match. We had Jay Briscoe versus Kyle Fletcher. We knew Kyle Fletcher was gonna win. It didn't. It was a good match, but it really didn't do anything for Mark Briscoe. For some reason, Mark Briscoe still didn't fight for the World Heavyweight Championship. And speaking of that
Yeah.
match, that was a good match. Hangman Adam Page versus Samoa Joe, which we all expected would be a good match. Samoa Joe does not put on bad matches, and this was a good match. The only thing that confused me was you had the ops go heel after the match. For what?
That I can't really. That's one of the ones that it's like, don't know
For
what you're
what?
thinking there.
For
Like
what?
you're not accomplishing anything.
Nah,
Um,
not you're not. And then what's so funny is that the ops went heel. Now they're finna face the Hurt Syndicate for the Trios Championship, another team that's in between the face and the heel.
uh-huh.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know. I just don't know, man. I
Like
just
I
don't know.
keep saying, he's got to get somebody that knows how to tell proper stories, that knows how to do proper booking. That Tony Khan is his biggest enemy when it comes to AEW.
Yes. And Adam Page, after Wrestle Dream, he has no directions. I mean, if you could have ran it back with him and Joe, because that was just a hell of a match. You could have ran it back. You didn't even have to make the ops heel. You could have kept the ops who they are and ran it back between Adam Page and Samoa Joe. Because as of right now, because you made them heel, Adam Page has nothing to do. Adam Cole is out with injury. I'm sorry about that. I got the names mixed up. Adam Page, Hangman Adam Page, has nothing to do right now. He has no opponent, no one who can contend for him for the main title. Nobody. You put Samoa Joe in the ops in the trios match against the Hurt Syndicate. We kind of figured how that gonna get played out. So where to go with Adam Page? Don't know. Who gonna step up? Don't know. Boom.
Yeah, both companies, the two major companies out of all of them, they seem to have a problem with their heavyweight titles. Of it's like, okay, we got you here, we just don't know what to do anymore. We're just gonna throw random guys at you until we decide to move it somewhere. Because I
Yeah.
mean, let's go back to Cody. Cody beats Roman. This whole big build up, and it happens. And it wasn't a bad title run. He had the title for a good long while, but it was very uninspired.
Yeah, they just gave him random opponents.
Yeah,
And
like you had a tiny little build up with what was it, Kevin Owens,
mhm.
and you had a very short build up with AJ Styles about AJ. Oh, I'm getting close to retirement. If I don't do something now, I don't know what my career is going to be. For like 2 weeks, you have the match. AJ obviously loses, and then AJ just disappears basically, doing nothing, and Cody just goes on to another. I don't even want to call it a feud. It's basically like what they're doing with John Cena right now, just jumping into another match at a PLE.
Yeah, it seems like once these guys finish, like for example, Cody Rhodes, once he finished his story, it was kind of like they had nothing. In which, to me personally, this is where your creative side comes to play. This is where your writing comes to play. Where this is supposed to be your best work right here. Writing for your champion to make sure that, hey, to make him look good. This is what it's supposed to be. Both companies champions, they just stuck in limbo. It's like they're stuck in purgatory. They got nothing.
Well, me personally, I think Adam Page's gimmick is just stale because he doesn't really have one. Yeah, you come out with the leather and tassels and stuff, but it's not like you're really embracing being a cowboy or anything. And there's been how many cowboys in the history of pro wrestling? Like it's pretty tiring. Like there's really nothing about his gimmick that does anything.
Well, I like his cowboy gimmick. I think it takes a hit when he doesn't wrestle. When he doesn't have no credible opponent, it takes a hit.
Yeah.
It just, I mean, you can say that about any wrestler, but not like Adam Page. When he doesn't wrestle anybody credibility or have a story on credibility, it hurts his character. A guy
Because
like
it's
Kenny
almost like he
Omega,
doesn't have one.
yeah, a
Like
guy like Kenny, a guy like Kenny Omega who had the title, his title run wasn't great. It was okay, but when he wrestled opponents that really didn't make sense or any, what I'm trying to say is his character didn't take a hit. With MJF wrestle someone who doesn't belong in the ring with them, his character didn't take a hit. Adam
no.
Page's character will take a hit.
Hmm. And a lot of that I think is because he doesn't really have a character. He's just a dude
Or
that he probably just lives that way and probably wears stuff like that on a daily basis. So it was
or,
just a natural fit.
or his character doesn't have a personality.
Well, yeah, he doesn't have one. Like, and and again, it's probably just how he lives.
Yeah.
And it was just a natural. And again, you see The Rock, you see Austin, those guys, yeah, that's basically just them, but turned up to an extreme level. John Cena even says, we just take who we are and turn it all the way up. And I don't feel like Adam Page does that because, again, take his gear away from it, put him in a singlet, put him in a Speedo, put him in anything. It's
He's
the same
ordinary.
guy. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's just a dude. If you didn't say Hangman and you just called him Adam Page, does it change his character? No. Like, and he's going to need a refresh because they've been riding him hard for a while now.
Now
He's
I
going to
like
need to drop the title and go away for a while and come back with. He needs to talk to Jericho and figure out how to freshen himself up and come back.
now when they made him heel, that was probably one of the best jobs he ever did. When they made him heel,
Mhm.
they changed his cowboy theme music. He was a his cowboy gimmick when he went heel was probably one of the best I've seen they did for him. And now they made him a face again, and it's kind of going back to this cowboy shit just ain't working. This shit, the best word to me when he was a cowboy again, when he was a heel, when he fought Sir Strickland, because something came out of him out of that. Now it's like,
And I like Adam Page. He's a good wrestler. His mic work is average, but again, like he doesn't have a character,
no, no,
and that's why it's like you should talk to Jericho.
yeah,
Jericho and the Undertaker are probably the two best of all time when it comes to keeping yourself fresh. Jericho, every time he would take time off TV, what happened? He would do something just enough to keep himself fresh.
crash.
He left
Mm-hmm.
WWE, came back, What did he do? He cut his hair off, changed his ring attire a little bit, just enough to keep it interesting. And goes to AEW, grows the hair back out, changes it up, gets back in shape quite a bit. Not so much now. Now it's like, okay, you're at the point you don't even want to work out anymore. Just hang it up. But I'm expecting if he does one more final WWE run, he's probably going to put in that maximum effort. So I'm kind of expecting that. But Undertaker, same thing. Undertaker would, they'd write him off TV for a while and he'd come back, new theme music, new outfit, new everything, new look, whether it was chopping his hair off, cutting off the facial hair and rocking the Amish goatee, whatever it is. Always just something to keep it fresh. And Adam Page needs that probably more than anybody in AEW.
Yeah. And no, I don't think he needed to chop his haircut. It looked like he already took a haircut.
No, I'm not saying chop his hair, but he's got to do just something,
Yeah.
dig in there to get people interested in what you're doing again, because people are more interested in who you're fighting than you are.
The one thing he should take from Jericho, I love what he did when he went to AEW, is that one, he had one of the best theme songs ever, Judas. Number two, he added more wrestling moves to his gimmick. And
He
three,
was already the man of 1,004 holds.
yeah, now he just added three more, make 1,007. And another thing was that the third thing with Jericho was that Jericho changed his whole persona.
Mm-hmm.
and I think Adam Page, he can, if he chooses to, because we all know how he felt about taking advice from CM Punk or other wrestlers in the back, veteran wrestlers. Um, if you learn anything or from Jericho, refreshing your character, refresh your persona, refreshing your look, it goes a long way in wrestling. A very long way. So we're going to end the show with this. My favorite character of the week is Dominic Mysterio Jr. because he always finds a way to win. He always outsmarts his opponent, even though we've seen him before with the lie, cheating, stealing Eddie Guerrero. Dominic Mysterio is doing the exact same thing, and I love it. And I hope they keep this going. And I know because it's WWE, it won't last too long.
So is that what we're doing? It's a favorite character of the week.
Yeah, this spread this came to me.
Okay.
This came to me.
I've got two. I'm trying to debate between the two right now. They're both women wrestlers. I'm either gonna say Asuka and what she's doing right now, or Roxanne.
Either one, both of them is good.
I'm gonna say both of them because what they're both doing is really, really good. I'm hoping that it turns into a Kairi Sane versus Asuka at some point here and gets Kairi Sane her time in the limelight because she deserves it. But what Asuka's doing is really good right now, and Roxanne too. Roxanne's crushing it,
killing it. I know the work Dominic Mysterio is doing is good. It's probably his best work ever. I mean, the way Dominic Mysterio was introduced to us was lackluster, and we all thought that this guy needs to be somewhere not in NXT, somewhere below NXT. But he has grown. Now he's not the best of wrestlers, but what he is doing is working. Again, it's a carbon copy of Eddie Mysterio. Eddie Guerrero. And he kind of.
I mean, the way they wrestle, you would think it might be Eddie Mysterio at this point.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. The king of the luchadors. I like that monk here. Dominic Mysterio is doing some of his finest, some of his best work in his young wrestling career. He's not gonna wow you with the moves. He's not gonna wow you wrestling, but how he's winning and how he's doing it is very impressive. I mean, the guy outsmarted Rusev. The guy has outsmarted every one of his opponents except for AJ Styles.
I will say Dominic will probably have a world title. Triple Mania doesn't count. The AAA title, we're not counting that. Dominic will probably have one of the world titles within a year and a half. And depending on how that run goes, you'll either see him transition to a manager because the dude can talk. and the dude can rub people the wrong way. He would be a great heel manager. Or if he has a stellar run, you might see him take on an Eddie Guerrero form where what did Eddie do when he got to WWE? Bulked up, started
Mm-hmm.
playing more to the crowd, cut the hair off, did some of those things. And I think it's going to be a drastic one of two ways. He's either going to have an incredible run with a world title, and it's really going to propel him to the next level, and he's probably going to go through some changes, or he'll go into like a GM or a manager role because he's great on camera. But again, like
He
you
is
said,
great on
he
camera.
doesn't look like a wrestler. He doesn't really even move like a wrestler. If his dad didn't do the 619, do you think he'd even do the 619?
Nope.
No.
And he's too tall to do the 619. But hey,
He does it
you know,
so slow too. It's almost like come on, like his rotation, it's like
yeah,
when Ray does it, it's like a little like a lightning bolt. He just whips around, does it like and I get it. Dominic's so much bigger. He's got to make sure he gets through the ropes, clears it, but it's so slow and it's like this is boring.
yeah, yeah. I think I'm gonna go with the latter. I'm gonna say Don's gonna have a. He's gonna be. I don't know if he's gonna be world champion, but he's gonna have a good run. In fact, I'm going to them and say I can see Dominic putting the mask on just to freshen up his character and take to another level.
Well,
Cut his hair, throw the mask on.
I did read something about a month ago, and I forget where it was, but they were doing an interview with Dominic, and he said he's already got a new outfit done. He's already got plans on a whole change, but the current thing that he's got going caught fire, so we don't know how long he's gonna ride this one. But yeah, he was talking about shaving the mustache off, cutting the hair. He's got a whole new outfit already ready to go and everything. But now that this has kind of grown legs on its own, we might see this for a good long while.
Well, we'll see. I don't see this
I do
going.
enjoy Dominic though. He's a
Yeah,
good heel. He's doing
yeah, he is.
incredibly well at what he's
He
doing.
is. He is, and I want him to continue to do the good work that he's doing and continue to be here. And listen, as long as they don't take Dom back in a different direction of, hey, wrestle your dad, or when he goes to Triple Mania, I want him to be able to look strong as champion. Don't make him look weak. When he Intercontinental Champion, continue to do the things that he's been doing as an IC champion. Because eventually the Judgment Day is going to break up. Don will have his own faction, and
I don't even
and
think
whether
Dom's gonna have a faction. I think it's just gonna be him. And honestly, when they bring Liv back, I wouldn't even acknowledge the whole Dominic thing. Bring back Liv as a baby face and just let her run and let Dom stand on his own 2 feet too. I think that would do wonders for him.
true,
Or if
true,
anything, partner Dominic up with Roxanne if you're going to partner anybody up. Raquel, natural progression if they're going to keep her on the same show. She goes back with Liv, not even as like a bodyguard or a tag team, but just there is like, oh, this is my little friend group, kind of thing. And if you're going to force Dominic to be with somebody, not even like in a girlfriend way, but just like as like a team,
mm-hmm.
Roxanne Perez would be the only one.
Yeah, that'd be interesting, but we'll see. We'll see how far they're going to take this Dominic Mysterio character. Because right now, like you said, it got legs and it's going, and it got a life of its own. I
They got
mean,
to get him to drop that Triple Mania title though, or I keep saying Triple Mania, Triple A title. Like it's it's not really even helping Triple A because it's not like he's wrestling any of the Triple A guys on
on
Raws or
Triple
anything
A.
like that.
Yeah, I think that's the part I was talking about, taking a step back, because I think that Triple A title is about him and his dad.
Yeah,
Eventually, we're going to see that again. And I don't want to see that because Ray beat Dom, and I feel that that's the one off for
it's
me.
done. It's
We
not
don't
going
need
to
to
help
see
either one
that.
of them.
But when we see Ray Mysterio, we see him on Triple A, and we see him interact with Dom, and the way sometimes how he, well, I think they're setting up that. I think they're trying to set that up in Triple A. Dominic Mysterio versus Ray Mysterio. Don't want to see it. He's going to drop the IC title.
Yeah,
And when he drops the IC title, is where I want to see where they go with it after that. Because, like you said, Judgment Day gonna break up. The best thing for him to stand alone. So what they're gonna have for him once the Judgment Day break up is gonna be the interesting part.
Yeah, we got a caller. We're gonna keep talking about it.
Yep. All right, everybody. This is DS Walk. That's Jamie. This has been Signature and Finishers podcast. We'll see you guys on Saturday for Michigan State weekend because we all know who's gonna win. And,
Yeah.
and who's gonna win? Who's gonna get fired? So everybody,
Shout out to the
enjoy
Lions
that.
defense.
Oh,
putting that
shout
out
out to
there.
yes, Detroit Lions defense played well. And remember, watch the Detroit Pistons tonight. They play Chicago Bulls.
That's why I'm trying to get you to shut up. So I got something to do here.
All right. Me too. So I'm gonna go watch this game.